this. Okay, wanted to make sure I was recording. So again, welcome everybody. This is Dr. Sandra. Thank you for being here with us for Vision Building Women, the Shift. Vision Building Women, the Shift. Some of you are our vision coaches. Again, welcome. Some of you are in other programs. Again, welcome. Some of you, this is your first time. Some of you are my individual clients. Regardless of how you got here, welcome and thank you for being a part of this amazing Vision Building Women community. So let's open in prayer and then we're going to move forward. Heavenly Father, we give you all honor, glory, and praise on tonight. God, we thank you for this day and we thank you, God, for allowing us to be in this time and in this season. God, we know that you've got a work for each and every one of us, God, and we thank you for that assignment. God, on tonight, as we bring this teaching, as we bring this next, as we bring this new forward, God, I ask, oh Father God, that I be under your complete authority, oh Father God, that you take complete control, oh God. And God, we ask these things in Jesus' name. And God, we just ask blessings for each and every woman who is listening here on tonight. God, we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen and amen. All right, all right. So I am going to again thank everybody for being here. And if you see me, like I said, looking down, it's because I've got my phone down here and I want to make sure that I'm capturing everyone. Again, if you can see me and hear me okay, let me know that you can see me and hear me. I'm getting ready to do a little change here on the screen so that you can see this presentation that I am getting ready to bring to you. All right, you should be able to see that now. Let me know if you can see it. You should see me over in the right-hand corner of your screen on Facebook. You should see me in the right-hand corner. There we go. So tonight, we are going to be talking about teaching you, bringing you Vision Building Women, the Shift. Vision Building Women, the Shift. So for those of you who know me, again, my name is Dr. Sandra Wall-Williams. I'm the CEO and founder of the Vision Building Institute and the executive director for the online community Vision Building Women. And so for the past couple of years, we've been focusing on vision. And during this time, over the past maybe couple of months, God has been dealing with me about shifting, about literally taking this community to the next level. And that's what we're going to be talking about here on tonight. So thank you to all of you who are live. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all of those of you who are here and you're here by way of replay. Thank you so much for being here. And we just applaud all of you for being here on tonight. And so now what I want to do is to start the teaching, I want to think about the things that began or have begun the actual shift. What are those things that actually started the shift in terms of helping me to realize that, you know what, God is doing something. I don't know what all it is, but he's doing something and we need to get on board with what God is doing. So what is it? So when I just began to sit down and to think about the things that began the shift. Okay, the first thing that began the shift, of course, we all know is the pandemic. Okay, the COVID-19, the coronavirus, whatever that you call it. Okay, but that's one of the first things that began to have in my mind about that there's something going on in this season. And I don't want to spend a lot of time on the pandemic. We all know what it is and everything, but the Lord just began to deal with me is that, Sandra, I'm doing something in this season and I need you to be very focused because there's a group of women, there are women all over the world that follow or are part of Vision Building Women. And now is the time for that group to go to its next level. So then I begin to think about, okay, what other things have begun to happen? Well, After the coronavirus, there began to be a downturn in the economy. People were laid off. Some people were laid off. Maybe they'll go back to work. And then there were others that may not ever go back to work, okay, just because of the pandemic. They may not ever go back to work because those businesses have closed. So there's been a downturn in the economy. And then there has been racial tension, and things have been going on, and 8 minutes and 47 seconds of somebody had their knee on someone's neck. And there's just been so much racial tension just here in the past couple of weeks and past couple of months, and things are changing. But between the coronavirus and the economics and the racial tension, I just began to ask the question, what's going on? You know, what is going on in this season? God, what is happening in this season? You know, I know, and I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer that everything is spiritual. Okay. I'm a firm believer that everything is spiritual, that if things are happening, then there is a spiritual reason behind what is going on. And so as I began to pray, I just began to pray, and I began to seek God and ask God, what is going on? I had to step back from some things. I had to just not allow other things to get in my way, and conversations I had to not be a part of, and even some things that I was working on, I had to step back from it for a minute so that I could pray and ask God, what is happening? And I've got, you know me, I've got my notes right here, and I want to stay very focused because I want to get this, because when God showed this to me and showed me the way and why vision building women need to shift, it's all because of what I'm getting ready to share with you right now. So when I asked God, what I was praying, I asked God what's going on. God gave me 4 things, and I need for you to get this, because this is the precursor, or this is the foundation of the shift. So number 1, what God showed me is that he's readjusting some kingdom assignments. God is readjusting some kingdom assignments. And you know, what I saw during this particular, all these things that are happening, is that some people just weren't ready. Some people were not ready for the pandemic. Some companies, some organizations were not ready for the pandemic. And what I see is that God is readjusting kingdom assignments. And what that means is that what we did before, okay, before all these things started happening, the assignments are being different, because God is readjusting and he's realigning assignments. And we can't do things the same way that we did them in the past. I need for you to really, really get this, that because God is readjusting kingdom assignments and we can't do things the way we did things in the past, that means there's got to be a readjustment in us. Come on, you got to get this. There's got to be a readjustment in us. All right. Number 2, that assignments and callings are being reshuffled. What do you mean, Dr. Sandra? Assignments and callings are being reshuffled. This is one of the ones where I had to say, like, ouch. Okay. When God showed me this, it's like, you know, you have to understand the whole concept of assignments, meaning that every single one of you, if you are a Christian, if you're a woman of God, if you're a vision building woman, God has given you an assignment to carry out. He's given you an assignment to carry out. And what's happening, and that I've seen it, the Lord is showing me, is that assignments and callings are being reshuffled. Now, what does that mean? That means that the assignments that you didn't do, that God gave you, that you may not have done in the past, he's reassigning it to someone else who was ready, who would, come on, let me get this. He's reassigning things to people who are ready to step out, who are ready to do what he said to do then. There are some of you who have had books in you that are still up on shelves, that are still in journals, in your journals, and you're wondering why it is that you're looking on Amazon and somebody has had the same idea of the book that you had. It's because God is reassigning and reshuffling assignments and callings. I don't know all the reason why for your personal situation, but it could be that sometimes we say no. And I need you to remember this right here. This is something that I learned, is that when I don't do something that God has given me, then what I'm doing is I'm telling God, no, I'm not going to do it. It took me a few minutes to get that. It took me a few minutes to just understand that, oh my goodness, I tried to make it seem like, oh, I'm just not going to do it, or it's not the season for me to do it. I tried to make up excuses, but then I realized all I'm doing is just telling God no. So either we tell God no, or whatever, and God is reassigning things, because God is saying, if you didn't carry it out, then I'm going to assign it to somebody else. If you're not walking in your calling, then I'm going to give that calling or the opportunity and the growth in that calling to someone else. He's not going to take the calling away from you, but the assignment that was associated with the calling. Oh, come on, come on, come on. I see some people saying ouch in the comments. I see people saying ouch in the comments. And yes, that's what's going on. So these two things, God is readjusting kingdom assignments in this season. God is reshuffling assignments and callings, and people who he has called but not doing the work. He's reshuffling those assignments and giving them to someone else, because there were a lot of us that had assignments that this was the season. God opened a door. The pandemic could have been an open door. The economic situation could have been an open door for you to help and serve. The racial tension that we're going through could have been an opportunity for you to move forward and serve. But because we weren't ready, those assignments have been reshuffled. All right, let's look at the next two things. Number 3, our gifts and our callings are functions and not titles. This is something that when I asked God what was going on in this whole economic and in this whole season of economics and pandemic and racial tension, God, what is going on? And in a time of prayer, the Lord showed me that our gifts and our callings are functions. We have been acting like that our gifts and our callings are titles, but they are functions. What does that mean? They are functions. That means there is work associated with the gift and the calling. There is work associated with the gift and the calling. And that means that when God calls you or when he gives you a gift, now keep in mind that this is whether you're talking about the ministry or whether you're talking about the marketplace, be it government, be it education, be it nonprofit, be it corporate, wherever you are working, your gifts and callings God has given to you, and you should be operating in them, and you should be walking them out, and you should be working them, and they are just not a title for you to sit and do nothing. Okay, they are just not a title for you to sit and do nothing. There are assignments that are attached to your gifts and your callings, okay? And those assignments mean there's work that goes along with them. Last thing that God showed me is that everything that has happened to all of us, everything that is happening to you is allowed by God to help you mature and to grow. Everything that is happening, even right now as I speak, is happening to you to allow you to mature and to grow. Okay, so remember, let me review this really quick because I'm getting ready to move on from this part. I asked God, what is going on? What are we as women of God? What are we as vision building women? What are we? What is happening with us? What do we need to see out of all of this that's going on? God is readjusting kingdom assignments. Assignments and calling are being reshuffled. Our gifts and callings are functions, they're not titles, and that everything that is happening to us is allowed by God to help us mature and to grow. So then I ask the question, God, what's the shift? Okay, what I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. So I know that you're not just telling me and allowing me to see this and understand these 4 elements. if there's not something that you want me to do with the women that you've given me in terms of being able to, you've given me to pour into. I know that, Lord. So, Lord, what is the shift? Father, what is the shift? And the Lord began to remind me and show me that over the past year, over the past 365 days, he has elevated me in so many ways. He's elevated me. I'm now on boards. I'm on educational boards, been appointed by county commissioners to be on boards. I am on corporate boards. I am sitting in boardrooms now. I was doing it before, but not at the same level. So I'm on corporate boards, nonprofit boards, educational boards. And there's a level of leadership. God says, I have poured so much leadership into you. And this is where the shift began to happen, is that the women, the people of God, not everybody, but some people were not ready because they weren't ready to walk in the level of leadership that was assigned to them in terms of their gifts and their callings. So you have to understand, when you have a gift and you have a calling, there's a level of leadership that you have to walk in to be able to carry that out. And so I asked God, so God, what does this shift actually look like? And God took me back to something that I had actually worked on with a friend of mine. It was at least 3 or 4 years ago, at least 3 or 4 years ago. And we worked on it. I set it to the side and I told my friend, I said, DeBrew, it's just not time for this to come forward yet. I just don't see where this is time for this to come forward. And so she said, well, when it's time, God will show you. Ladies, gentlemen, who's ever watching this, now is the time. So what is the shift? What is the shift for vision building women? First of all, God said that vision building women, you are women who work 9 to 5, and you are ready to shift to a new arena. Okay. Some of you have been, for whatever reason, sitting around waiting. You work your jobs, you do what you need to do, but you know there's something more. You know there is more, but you feel that you are not ready. You feel that, I spent so much time on vision. I spent time helping a lot of women to bring their vision to pass. But then the Lord began to show me is that in order to bring vision to pass, the leader of the vision has to be built up first. The leader of the vision has to know what their role and responsibilities are. The leader of the vision. So what are we going to be focused on? You all who work 9 to 5, and most everybody in this community either works 9 to 5 or works in some form or fashion, and you're ready for this shift into this new arena. And I had to look up the word arena because that's not a word that I use very often. I think of arena, I think of a physical place, right? But the Lord told me that to look the word up. And as I do, I always look it up. An arena is a sphere of interest or activity. So this new arena that you're getting ready to walk into, this shift that you're getting ready to shift into this new arena, it's an arena of interest or activity, something that you've been wanting to do, something that God has called you to do, but for whatever reason, you just haven't done it. And I had been working with women thinking it was helping them to build their vision. And God spoke to me and he says, I have increased your leadership. Now you've got to help other women and help us become the leaders so that we can lead the entities that God has given us. I hope you are getting this. I am so excited about where God is taking us. So, all right. So if you are in this community, Vision Building Women, and you have to be because you're inside this, the video on tonight or the live on tonight. So what are we going to be doing? Vision Building Women, we are going to be focused in 3 areas. Focused in 3 areas: life, leadership, and legacy. Let me say it again. 3 areas: life, leadership, and legacy. I'm going to say it one more time because I'm so excited, because I'm so focused. This is where God says we need to focus our efforts, that we as vision building women need to be focused on our life. We need to be focused on our leadership, and we need to be focused on our legacy, meaning those people that God has called you to serve. All right, so let's look at each one of these separately. Life, leadership, and legacy. This is the shift that vision building women is moving to. As a matter of fact, I can't even say this is a shift that we're moving to. This is the shift that we're in. In this season of shift, vision building women will be focused on life, leadership, and legacy. Thank you so much for scribing there in the comments. All right, so let's look at life. When we talk about life, we're going to focus on our personal development. Focus on your personal development. We want to deal with those things that in your life that lead to a lack of motivation for your assignment. Some of you are dealing with overwhelm and rejection and criticism, and you're overexhausted, or you're worried, or time management, or all kinds of different things that are keeping you unmotivated, or you're not motivated to do the assignment. Because I think about it, a lot of people have been working from home. A lot of people have been working from home since around what, March 13th, 14th. And I know some of you may have had to do homeschooling or remote learning with your children. So you may have not had as much time. But the thing that the Lord reminded me is that we didn't have to drive up and down the road. We could do more. We had at least a couple of more hours maybe added to our day, but some of us still did not step out because there were some things that caused a lack of motivation in us. And God says we need to deal with that through personal development. We need to understand your gifts and your calling. You need to understand your gifts and your calling, because if you don't understand your gifts and your calling, then there's no way you can do the third bullet, which is to get clarity on your assignment. You know, we were in the boot camp recently, and I can't go into all of that right now, but we were in the boot camp recently, and someone said that I want clarity. Actually, a couple people said that I want to get clarity on my assignment. And then I just went and asked the Lord to show me how to get clarity. The Lord literally gave me the steps that you need to get clarity for your assignment. And we want to bring teaching for that. So when you think about the vision building women group and focused on life, the kind of things that I'm going to be offering, they're going to be, number one, focus around your life as a leader. Your life as a leader. Your life as a leader. Okay, I keep saying that over and over again, because right now what we need is leadership, and women who are ready to step into that role of leadership and then be able to move forward with what God has called them to do. So first is personal development when we talk about life. Next, we want to focus on leadership. So this is one, I love them all, but this is one of my favorite: leadership development, to help you become the leader that you are called to be. Here's the thing: you can't move forward in your vision if you are still struggling as a leader. You cannot move forward in your vision if you are still struggling as a leader. Okay, so we want to help you become the leader that you're called to be. We want to help you to be able to ground your faith in your leadership. I get so many questions so often. Dr. Sandra, how can you sit in the boardroom and listen to some of the stuff that goes on as a Christian? You know what? Because God has shown me how to be a woman of God and sit at the boardroom at the same time. And those are the kinds of things that if you're going to be a leader, this is what you need to be able to understand. You need the leadership development. You cannot bring your vision to pass. You cannot move forward with it if you're not motivated. That's the personal development part, or the life. Then you need to be developed as a leader. We need to develop you as a leader so that you can step into the promotions and advancement that you desire and that God has for you. There are some of you that no, you should be elevated on your job, but because you don't have the right mentors, or you don't know the right kinds of things to do, you just haven't been elevated. There are advancements that some of you or should be in or advancing in certain areas of leadership on the job, in ministry, in so many other areas, and you haven't done it because of the element of leadership that you need to have. I firmly believe that the reason that there are so many people today and during this particular season that we are in that are still struggling is because they don't have the level of leadership that's required to move themselves or move those they are called to their next. Okay, so many people during the pandemic, during the economic downturn, during the racial tension, got stuck in the now that they could not see their next. Okay, and I just believe that is because we need to be developed as leaders. Okay, as women in leadership. Okay, we are women of God, but we as women of God need to understand what does it mean to be a leader. Amen. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I am teaching and I'm not actually looking at the comments. So thank you all for giving your comments, but I'm going to keep on going. Okay. So we looked at life. We looked at leadership. The last part here is legacy. Legacy. And the two areas that you'll see Vision Building Women focused on, bringing you teaching on, bringing you offerings on, is career development and ministry development. We want to be able to help you move to the next level in your career. Some of you, your calling is your career. Some of you, your ministry is your career. Some of you, your career is your ministry. Some of you, they're two different things. Some of you have a career and you have a ministry. Okay, that's where I was. I have a career and I have a ministry. But we want to be able to help you move to the next level. We want to help you build the ministry that God has called you to build. Some of you have women's ministry or youth ministries or whatever kind of ministry that's bound up. I shouldn't use the word bound, that's tied up inside of you, but it's kind of bound because you haven't done it. You haven't released it because you don't know what to do. We're going to start offering ministry development classes. We're going to start offering career development sessions. We're going to start offering that because you know what? When you start working on your life and your personal development, and you start developing yourself as a leader, then the next step for you is to build. That is to build your career, build your ministry through development. And that's to help you so that you can help others. And I am a firm believer in this one, is that we need to be able to add streams of income as certified coaches or certified mentors. Some of you have so much knowledge locked up inside of your head that could help so many people, but you don't do it. Or you do it, and some of you are giving it away for free. And someone asked me, Dr. Sandra, how in the world do you become a paid mentor? Yes, companies bring me in to literally mentor their women, okay, to mentor their women, because it's a difference in coaching and mentoring. I do both, but companies will bring me in to be a mentor, bring me in to mentor a group where we have small group sessions, that sort of thing. So, but you can do the same thing. And I believe in doing that to add a stream of income to your home or to your family. All right. So we've talked, I need to go backwards here a second. So we've talked about 3 areas: Vision Building Women. This is how we're moving forward: life, leadership, legacy. Life, personal development; leadership and leadership development; legacy, career development and ministry development. I am so focused. I want to make sure that what God has given me to give to you, that you can now do what you need to do, because this focus is clean cut. I was talking to one of the millennials the other day, and as I was talking to her, I presented this to her, and she said, Dr. Sandra, it's so clean cut. I can see where I fit. I can see even myself going from life to leadership to legacy. I can see that. I can see there are things that I need to work on in my personal development. There are things that in my professional leadership development. And then there are things that, I want to build. I want to move higher in my career. So there's a career development and ministry development. So this right here has just been the next step. So as a vision building woman, and this is the part that really, really got me excited, because you know what? You all know that I am a step-by-step process person. Okay. If you have ever been in any of my classes, if you've ever been in any of my trainings, then you know that I am a step-by-step person, that I ask God to show me steps, show me things that I can take someone else through. Okay. I know that there are different systems, but God, give me the system that Sandra can do, that I can help the women that you've called to me. So as a vision building woman, as a current leader, as an emerging leader, how do you make the shift? How is the word here. Keyword, strategy. Okay. The way you make the shift is that you have to develop strategy. This is so very important. You have to develop this strategy, because when you develop strategy, then you can take action on the strategies that you have. And if you've ever worked with me, you know, one of the things that we do is we develop strategies that fit you, right? So the key here is that you must develop strategy. Now, I'm going to help you do that. Okay, of course. I'm so excited because I want to be able to present to you. This is a live session. I want to be able to present to you what I'm calling the Shift Clinic. Okay, the Shift Clinic. And if you come in this clinic, you will never, ever be the same. God has literally, and I'm looking for my my notes here. God has literally given me 5 steps to take you through to show you how to shift. To show you how to shift. You know, we talk about shift. We shout about, oh, there's a shift in the atmosphere. We shout about it. We talk about it. But how? The operative word, going back to this screen, strategy. How do we do it? What are the steps? What do I need to do? How do I do it? Well, I'm going to show you in the Shift Clinic. I'm going to show you in the Shift Clinic. So I want you to join me on Saturday, July 18th. This is going to be live via Zoom from 8:30 to 11 o'clock. Yes, it's early. That's because for the women that are ready for the shift, if you're ready, then the time doesn't matter, okay? Because the Shift Clinic is all about how, what are the steps, how to shift. And we're going to put an END. I'm not telling you what END means. You have to be in the clinic. All right. To put an end to the traps that have held you back from your next level of leadership. The reason that some of you have not moved forward, the reason why some of you are still stuck. Some of you use the word stuck. I don't like to use that word, but some of you may still be stuck. There are reasons for that, but most of it's because of your level of leadership. And God has allowed me to be elevated as a leader. I am going to use, yes, it is 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. I saw the comment. Thank you. Yes, it is 8:30 to 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Tanya. So God has allowed me to use my level of leadership. He has allowed me to take my 30 plus years of experience in leadership and growing from other people, mentoring others, working with others to build this Shift Clinic. All right. So I am going to be using my 5-step system, and you will walk away from the clinic with strategies so that you can make the shift to your next level of leadership. Again, if you are not developed as a leader, then if you're not going to be able to move forward with that thing that God has said do. Okay. And you might say, well, Dr. Sandra, I'm not a leader. Yes, you are. Yes, you are a leader. All of us are leaders just by way of our purpose. Not going to get into that because that's a whole different teaching. All right. But we are all leaders. God, and it may be that you may not be called to lead thousands of people, but you may be a leader of one. I love Priscilla Shire's book called One. All right. So you may not be a leader of a lot of people, but whatever it is, you need to be developed as a leader. You need leadership development. You need your personal development. And then you can walk out there and you can move forward in that career. You can build that ministry. You can do those things. So we're getting ready to develop your level of leadership. I am in a company called MWR Financial, and they develop us so much as leaders. The reason I'm doing well in that company is because I'm a leader. Okay, I'm a leader and I help people to move forward. And you can do the same thing. You've got to do the same thing. This pandemic, this racial tension, this economic downturn, if it hasn't taught us anything else, it should teach us that there are people waiting on you and waiting on what God has put inside of you. But because some of us weren't ready, that's why some things had to be reshuffled. Okay, some things had to be reassigned. But what God is showing me is that it's not too late. It's not too late for you. It's not too late for me. And it's not too late for the people who God has called you to. So I'm going to use my 5-step system. You're going to walk away from this clinic with strategies so that you can make the shift to your next level of leadership. So this is what's going to be taught in the clinic. Excuse me. What is my end? Again, I'm not going to tell you what that means. Got to be in the clinic. Let me get a sip of water. Excuse me. There is one requirement to find clarity for your shift. Some of you want clarity. You want to be clear. I'm going to show you how you do that. All right. The next module, module 3. Am I ready? Because I will tell you, you may get in the clinic, but you're not ready for the shift. All right. We're going to talk about that. Number 4, module 4. Excuse me. The process and actions required to shift. This is my 5-step process, my 5 steps to teach you how to shift. And here's something I want to tell you. The shift, once you learn these 5 steps, you can do them over and over and over again. And I'm going to give you a secret to the shift when you're in the clinic. Okay. One of the things that I teach in the boot camp is a secret. Okay. It is a secret that if you get this, then you'll understand why there are areas of your life that you need to focus on in different times and different seasons of your life. Let me keep going. And then the last module, module 5, what do I need to do after the shift? What do I need to do after the shift? So yes, all of these modules going to teach them in 2.5 hours. It will be recorded. So if you can't be there in person, it will be recorded. What is the name of the book I mentioned again? Somebody was going to have to remind me because I'm teaching, I'm flowing. I might even remember what book I was talking about. Okay. Okay. So these are the modules that we're going to cover in those 2.5 hours. If you enroll and sign up in the clinic, you're going to get 7 days of end declarations. Again, you have to be in the clinic to know what that is. You're going to get a momentum action guide. You're going to get access to the online Shift Clinic community. I want to make sure that you have that encouragement. And I'm not even going to tell you all the things in terms of, you might be asking, well, Dr. Sandra, how much is this? How much is the shift? I'm not even going to tell you. You're going to have to go to the website and find out. But you know what? I priced this so low that you're going to look at it and go, oh my goodness, what's going on? But here's the thing I want you to remember. Oh, Priscilla Shira, thank you. Lily, thank you. All right. So there is a reason for the price. Now here's something I want to tell you. All right. You know what? I'll say that for the end. I'm going to say that for the end. I want to make sure everybody hears something I'm going to say at the end as to why the reason that the Shift Clinic is priced the way it is. You know what? I began to think about all the women that I have helped to shift in their life. All the women I have mentored, all the women I have taken through this process and didn't even realize it. God had to show me, I have allowed you to take women through the shift and you didn't even realize it, Sandra. I've allowed you to do that. And I went back and started looking at the things that I have taught women when I work with them individually or work with them in groups. I've looked at those things and I said, these are the 5 steps. Lord, I thank you. I praise you because now I can be very, very focused. Personal development, leadership development, career and ministry development can be very focused in those 4 areas. That's all you're going to get in Vision Building Women. So I work with Shanika. She had a shift in her leadership and her career. Okay. Shanika literally quit a job and came She wanted to spend more time with me as a leader. So she literally came and worked with me at community colleges so that she could learn. And then it dawned on me, you helped her to shift. Okay. I won't tell you all the things that she's done since then and what she's doing now, but you know what? You'll be hearing from her a little bit later on, not in the clinic. You won't hear her in the clinic, but in the next steps after the clinic, if you decide to go on. All right. Dr. Joyce had a shift in her education. I remember when Dr. Joyce was in my office and I was mentoring her again, these same 5 steps. I didn't even realize it, y'all, until I sat down and began to do what I teach my vision coaches to do. Okay. I sat down and said, what were the steps I took Dr. Joyce through from the time that she was in my office, and she was, Dr. Sandra, I can't go back and get this master's. I just don't have it. I just don't have it. And I mentored her through that process. And now she is Dr. Joyce Valentine. From sitting in my office saying something she couldn't do, all the way now she has that doctorate degree. Lisa has had a shift in life. Her whole life is now changed. She was already a millionaire, and now she is building other companies so that she can learn how to do it, so she can teach others how to build companies, how to do what she's doing. She's had a shift in her life. I taught her the same thing. She was a part of the inner circle and was faithful to the inner circle. And then I realized, oh my goodness, that's a shift. Those same 5 elements. Pastor Michelle, some of you may know her here. She and her husband are pastors here in the Raleigh-Durham area. She's had a shift in her career and her ministry. Okay, she's been through the inner circle. She's been through one of my retreats, and I've mentored her, and she's mentored me too in areas. Okay, for a very long time. We've been friends, mentoring since college. But then I realized I took her through those 5 steps. The things that I talked to her about, they were those 5 same steps. And I'm not even going to announce what her next shift is. She's going to have to do that. But she's definitely moved from where she was working 9 to 5 into a new arena. That's what God is looking for. Oh my goodness. Dr. Olga has had a shift in her career. When I first started working with Dr. Olga had so many things going on, but she had one goal. She had one thing that she had to do, and she wanted me to help mentor her through that. And her company actually paid for me to be able to work with her. And now Dr. Olga is a published author in a referee journal. If you're in the academy, if you're in education, you know how big that is. She had a shift in her career from those same 5 steps. Finally, Dr. Grant had a shift in her career. Dr. Grant is so amazing and so unbelievable that she can do so many things, but there are some other things that she wanted to be able to do. All right, that were things that were near and dear to her heart. So she not only is in chemical engineering, but she's also doing things that she loves to do. And now I'm like, I can't even tell you the next shift in her career. She has to announce that. But there is a shift. And these are women who have worked 9 to 5, but yet there's more that God has for them. And it's all because they walk through the process of shifting, the process of the 5 steps, the same 5 steps that I do over and over when I mentor women. And then, don't let me forget Della out in Texas. Della is one of our vision coaches. She's a certified coach, and she's had a shift in her career and her ministry, and she's a certified coach. So she is walking through this thing. As a matter of fact, I think Della may even be on here with us live today. Okay. And so Della has a shift in her career. She's had a shift in ministry. She's added stuff to added streams of income by being a vision coach, and added streams of income in another area of her life. So that's the career development and the ministry development. Again, I didn't even realize God had to sit me down, had to show me that once I elevated, I could no longer teach you all the same. I had to be more focused. Again, that's why it's life, leadership, legacy. Life, leadership, legacy. Because I've got to help you get past some of these life issues. Got to help you in leadership development, developing you as a leader, and then finally building those things that God has called you to build, your career or your ministry. And then finally, these ladies right here, they're shifting to being certified coaches and mentors. They are already in my Vision Coach certification program as we speak. Right now, they're in the boot camp part, but they're actually in the program. And in the next 3 or 4 months, you'll see me announcing them as certified vision coaches. So again, join me Saturday. Yes, there is an enrollment fee, but I'm gonna tell you, it's so low that you're gonna wonder what's going on. And now let me tell you, if you, the first person who direct messages me and tell me the reason for the enrollment amount, I'm not going to tell you what it is. You're going to have to go to the website or go to I'm going to give you that in just a second. You're going to have to go there. You're going to have to look at the number, and then you're going to have, it's got to be the first one. Do not do it in the group because that will not count. You have to direct message me, meaning you have to go and send me an individual message in my Facebook. I guess you call it Facebook Messenger. The first person to do that will get a free enrollment. You'll get a free enrollment to the shift. Okay, you'll get a free enrollment to the shift clinic. All right, so now join me 8:30 to 11 o'clock on July 18th for the shift clinic. Here is the link, bit.ly/shift clinic, bit.ly/shift clinic. Things are shifting. You need to be a part of that shift. You need to be ready for the shift. All right. And all the things that the 4 things that we talked about earlier, God is giving us an opportunity to get ready and get even more prepared for those people that he already has in front of you. They're already there. They're waiting on you to step out and be the leader that God has called you to be. And I know in this season, God has called me to serve through that personal development, leadership development, career, and ministry development. So go to bit.ly/shift clinic and you'll be able to see the information. It's probably in the Vision Building Women group as we speak. Now, you have a couple of choices. You can do nothing. Remember that nothing is a seed. And if you do nothing, then you're planting a seed of nothing. You can try to implement and shift on your own. That's cool. Go for it. Okay. Or you can join us in the shift clinic. Now, you will see in the shift clinic that it is teaching only. It is teaching only. I'm going to be sharing with you my teaching, and you'll get other things. You can see that there on the website. You'll notice that there is a hot seat. I see people are already registering for the shift. Oh my goodness. People are already registering for the clinic. Oh my God, it's already coming through. I see somebody's already registered. All right, that seat is taken. Okay, so now join us in the shift clinic. Here it is, bit.ly/shift clinic. Join us in the clinic. This is going to be, let me get out of this screen. All right, this is going to be life changing. Hopefully, let me stop sharing that screen. There we go. Okay, this is going to be life changing for you. Like I said, God has gotten me to a point as I elevated. It has now that I have to make sure that I pour out into the women, into Vision Building Women, so that you can begin to elevate also the skills, the knowledge, the abilities that he's given me around leadership to be able to help you through personal development, through life, through personal development, through leadership development, and then through legacy, because there are people that you need to be pouring into, so I can help you move forward in that career, so that we can help you to be able to build that ministry and build it correctly. There where, I'm sorry, somebody's sending me some messages here, want to make sure. There we go. So those things are there. They are, we're ready to help you via the boot camp. Via the clinic. Got the boot camp on one side, the clinic on the other. Okay, so the boot camp is closed. Don't try to get in the boot camp, that's closed. Okay, this is the clinic. So join us in the clinic. Congratulations to those of you who will be coming into the clinic. I am excited to serve you. The clinic, remember, is the 18th. So you've got 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks to be able to move on this. Don't slow up. Some of you, and I've put myself in the bunch in some other areas, some of us moved too slow. And because we moved too slow, we weren't ready when the door was open. And I know there was a pandemic. I realize there's racial tension. I realize that there is, the economic downturn. But some of that has been opportunity for some of us. And we weren't ready. But God is saying now, He is putting people in place. I'm not the only one. He's putting people in place to help to build women to be able to move forward, to walk in that leadership so that you can be built up as a leader, so you can build your career, move forward in that, and move forward in your ministry. And so I'm excited to be able to offer that to you. I hope to see you in the clinic. You'll see me coming in and out of Facebook doing a bunch of lives so that you'll know and understand the shift of Vision Building Women. So does that mean we're not going to talk about vision anymore, Dr. Sandra? No, it doesn't mean that. But what it means is that in order for you to move forward in vision, okay, in order for you to move forward in vision, you have to be developed as a leader. You have to be able to move forward and continue to have leadership development. So I hope this all helped you. Go bit.ly/the Shift Clinic, register for it. And remember, like I said, if you Facebook message me and you're the first one to tell me why the amount is the amount, I'm not going to say what it is. You got to go look at the page to see it. If you can tell me why the amount is the amount, you will, and it's the first one, and you've got to be a message. It cannot be in the Facebook group, okay? Got to be a message. You will get a free enrollment to the clinic, all right? So now, I look forward to seeing you all in the clinic. I look forward to seeing you all within the Facebook group. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.